Hey everyone, my name is Adam. I'm with Flowers and Flowers here in Darien, and today I want to show you how to decorate for the holidays. We're going to do a mantle here at your home. I'm sure you guys all have one of these at your house, and we're going to kind of walk you through all the steps to do it yourself, a little DIY. And we're going to use mostly all fresh components and with some, ribbons and some accents that we can then add into the mantle as well. So what you probably want to start with, a little trick I always do with the mantles is get some saran wrap. Because, a lot of these mantles, some are limestone, they're wood, and sometimes the sap from the garlands can drip onto the mantle. So just take a piece of saran wrap that you have at your house and just run it right across the mantle. And just lay it nice and neat like that. And then what you want to do second is get your garland. Here I have a deluxe garland, which is made of magnolia, Caroline sapphire, and cypress, which is a beautiful mix, as you can see. And this already comes pre-done. And this is about a 6-foot piece. Most mantles, I tend to range between 6 to 8 feet in people's houses. Some people like them very neat and not too far off the edges. And sometimes you can have them run very far off the edge and drape down to the floor if you'd like. But this one, we're going to do this very clean and neat on this type of mantle that we have here. So, we're just going to take the garland, lay it up on the mantle. And you want to make sure it's nice and snug up here, so you don't want it to fall. Especially you have to put your nice ornaments on here. If it's a very narrow mantle, I would recommend either taking a small finishing nail and maybe doing 1 or 2 or behind the photo where you can't see it, and then take wire, tie it, and then tie it to the nail. Because after you put all the weight and components on here, it does tend to get quite heavy and it can fall. So once you have your garland placed up on the mantle, nice and safe, like we have here, and then we're going to kind of pick the types of ornaments and garnishes that we're going to do. Now for this one, because there's a lot of gold in the painting, I chose to use a lot of gold accents. And you also want to go with your house and your own decor. You may want more classic Christmas. Then you want to go with nice reds. And I always say you definitely want to do a beautiful ribbon. This one is very baroque, it's hand-woven, and it just makes such a difference on your mantle. So, and by the way, I do sell most of this at my store, just in case you want it. So what we're going to start with, I'm going to take some of these gold berries that I have here. Now what you want to do is you kind of want to open them up, kind of splay them open first, very tight, and just kind of ball like that. I want you to open it up, and then it makes it look even better and bigger than what it actually is. Now, me personally, I like a little symmetry. Kind of what I do on one side, I usually repeat on the other side. You don't have to, of course. You can have it a little off-kiltered if you like. It's a personal preference. There is no wrong or right reason to do the mantle. So the great thing about these, they're already wired. So it has like a nice piece of wire. And the garland is already wired as well. So when you insert the ornament into the garland, you want to catch the wire so it really gets in there well. And that way it won't fall out. So you do want to be careful with that. And if it doesn't have a long piece of wire on it, you can always put a little piece of wire and then tie it to a piece of green. So then we're going to insert some more down the end. And see how I'm opening it up? And then for the other side, I'm going to go the opposite way. Since I went this way on this side, I'm going to now go this way on the other side. And then we have one more. So I'll put down on the end. There we go. And now I also have have these little balls, which I tied to the little picks and wired them. You can pick up at any florist, anywhere has those. And then the cones also, which are already pre-picked, which makes it so much easier than the ones, you can find them outside also and just wire them yourself, but the picked ones are so much easier. And these are sprayed gold. So they come that way, or you can spray your own. And then again, you want to make sure you insert it into the foliage so it doesn't come apart. And now I like to take the balls and put them down at the bottom of the cone. I like clustering pieces together. Just a little more impactful when you have like a grouping of something. So here we have some more cones. Then again, a grouping, which is very nice. And you also want to adjust your greens every now and then. You know, you want some kind of spilling over the mantle. Then you have that beautiful draping look. And what you can do also is just buy some loose greens as well. If you want more of a drape, just snap little pieces off and just tuck them in. They don't have to be wired into it. The weight of the garland will hold these pieces nicely. And then you have more of a drape. And I'm going to add a few more pieces. Here, and I'm going to add some to the opposite side. So it's not all one direction. Okay, so I'm going to add some more balls. And there is no magic number. It's just whatever desire, how lush you want it, how full you want it. It's all personal preference. Let's add a couple more cones. I like to put them down lower as well, kind of almost resting on the mantle. And that way you have some height, you have some depth. Okay. So I would say that's enough of the ornaments and balls, at least for my personal taste. And then now we have the ribbon. I also brought some of these white magnolias, which I thought were very beautiful. You can also do artificial flowers in there. Maybe we'll try one, see how it looks. Yeah, I think we should add a couple actually. So we have a few more here. Okay, and we got one more for the other end. Very nice. Perfect. And now we're going to add some ribbon. And I have this beautiful gold one that I mentioned to you before, which we're going to add. And then we also have a nice sheer one too, if you want more of a lighter type of look. You can either have them just kind of intertwined, just kind of going throughout if you like. Some people, if you want a larger bow in the center, you can make a larger bow. Just make sure your tails don't go down too low because there is a burning fireplace down below. Here we have our ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cinch it together in the center and then kind of bring it down like so. And then just a little piece of flock wire or any type of wire that you have. I like the flock wire, it's a little softer on the hands. Versus like the spool wire, which works just as well also. So let me do this, just a little tie, like so. kind of like it a little wrinkly, the ribbon, you know, so it's not so perfectly straight. And then a little trick like this, you can always curl it under and just curl the ribbon so you don't have those little ends with the little strings hanging off of them. And then we're going to take another piece and kind of bring one down this end. Okay, so I tied it in the middle again, like the other one. And now we're going to put it down this end. As you can see, it gives a great little sparkle. It really catches the light, especially when you have the fire going. And then we add a few more greens in. Best part, if you see a little hole, you can always fill it in perfectly with a piece of green. And I think right down here, he's kind of draping off towards the end there. So, as you can see, you have about a 6-foot garland here. I probably used about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cones, 4 sets of the berries, 1, 2, 3 cluster of the millimeter balls, 3 magnolia flowers, and 2 pieces of ribbon. And then, personally, I love a mixed garland like this with all the different types of greens and textures, because that in itself, sometimes I would do just that and add cones because the garland itself is so beautiful. We really don't need to embellish it much. But this situation for you guys, I wanted to show you how you can really do one up beautifully. So basically, it didn't take very long at all. You certainly can do this yourself at home in about under an hour. And then you have a beautiful mantle to show off all your friends and guests. So everyone, I want to say thank you so very much for coming today and giving me the time to show you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me at flowersandflowers@optonline.net. And you can go to my website too, flowersandflowers.com, and you can always get me there too. Bye guys, happy holidays.
With Adam.
Hello.
So Adam, can you use fresh flowers in these designs?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're having a party for a special evening, you know, then you want to just get your little water tubes and red amaryllis or roses or even stems of hydrangea. But you want to make sure they're tubed in the water and then just kind of nestle them into your arrangement. And but keep in mind, though, they're not going to last very long because they're in water, but they're great for a one-night party.
Okay. And for this arrangement, do you have to spritz the greens or will they just be okay?
It would help it,
Yeah,
if you did spritz it with greens, because they do dry out. People's houses tend to be a little warmer these days at the holiday, but you just want to be careful you don't get it too wet. That's why the cellophane is really important. So if you did spritz it and something leaked or got a little sap, it wouldn't ruin your mantle.
And all these materials are available at your store?
Yes, take a quick look here. We have different, plenty of types of ribbons, cones, berries, anything you can think of.
Beautiful.
The more natural, the better.
Can you tell us again what the mix in the garland is? It's obviously magnolia.
Yes, so you have
cypress.
magnolia, which is your dark green, and the brown. I love the suede, very Ralph Lauren with the two-tone. Then you got Caroline Sapphire, which is this beautiful bluish kind of drapey one here. I love that one. And then you have the, what do they call it? It's like a cypress,
Yeah.
the lighter green.
Okay.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, guys, my absolute pleasure. Happy holidays.